is going to be another long day for President Yoon today. His impeachment trial may be nearing an end, but he is now in the face of another trial, this time a criminal trial on insurrection charges. We turn to Professor Pak Eun-seok for more. Thanks for joining us.
Very good morning. Happy to be with you.
So Yoon's criminal trial proceedings kicked off just minutes ago. Now, what should we expect from today's session?
As we saw in his impeachment trial, the court holds, before it gets to the main trial, preliminary hearings or preparatory sessions. So what's happening today is one of those pre-trial hearings or preparatory sessions. And the main business of the court for a pre-trial hearing that is taking place today involved essentially three things. The court working with the lawyers from both sides, that's the prosecution and the President Yoon's side, to identify and clarify issues of dispute, to determine the scope of evidence, including the list of witnesses to be called in,
right,
and the scheduling the main trial. So those are the three things that are the main business of a pre-trial hearing today.
It's also notable how he made himself present at the hearing today, which shows how seriously he's taking this, another criminal trial. Now,
Sure.
Another hearing over a request to cancel his arrest is also taking place at the same place today. He obviously can't make it there since he's at the criminal hearing. How will that session go?
Well, actually, as I understand it, the session where the court decides whether his detention is legal or not, will be taking place at the same place at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, the same criminal tribunal will be doing those two things at the same time. And obviously, the fact that President Yoon is present there indicates that much is at stake in his own understanding. Obviously, the charge is insurrection, being the ringleader of an insurrection, which is a very, very serious criminal act. So if convicted, as you know, the sentence is up to the death penalty. So it is a serious charge, and I think President Yoon wants to do all that he can. And the legal team that challenges the detention has made the same arguments on previous occasions as well, including, for instance, the CIO didn't have the authority to investigate, the court did not have jurisdiction, and detention exceeded the period. These are the arguments that are not new, and I expect President's legal team would raise exactly the same kind of arguments, which in my view, the court may not be very willing to accept. But that's taking place at the same time in the same court. So President Yoon's presence there indicates that, in his understanding, really much is at stake today.
Well, again, he has a packed schedule today. He will wrap up the day with the 10th and final hearing of his impeachment trial this afternoon. Now, will President Yoon, do you think, speak up and deliver final arguments himself?
Well, as things stand now, it's unclear whether he will be present at the impeachment trial later today. His lawyer announced yesterday that he will attend his criminal proceeding, but wasn't sure or not decided yet as of yesterday whether he will be present at the impeachment trial. He has been attending all his impeachment trial sessions to this point. This afternoon, it's unclear. Now, today's impeachment trial is primarily about hearing testimonies from three key witnesses. And that would, I guess, would take up most of the time. And so a president will not make his final statement, which will be set aside for another hearing. And so witness testimonies will take up most of today's impeachment trial. And then I think it's very likely that court will set a date for another hearing, unless there is an additional witness to be called in. As of today, no additional witness, but If that happens, then maybe there is going to be another hearing, 11th, and then the final hearing where both sides, both the National Assembly sides, as well as President Yoon's side, would make the closing arguments, followed by President's own final statement.
Right, just to be clear, he didn't attend all the hearings. If I'm correct, he did skip the first two, and then he also skipped the very last one, the 9th one this week, right?
Right.
So he did attend a total of 6 hearings so far of the impeachment trial.
Yes, the session that he did not attend was, I think, part of his legal team's decision that his presence would not actually help his legal team getting the kind of statements from the witnesses they were examining.
Right.
And so maybe the decision for President Yoon not to attend this afternoon's session, but again, that's still undecided, may have something to do with the witnesses, especially Prime Minister Han's testimony this afternoon.
Right, because you mentioned this, before I let you go, Professor Pak, Prime Minister Han Duck-soo and President Yoon will face each other for the first time if Yoon does make himself present at the hearing later this afternoon. What kind of scenes do you expect to see there?
Well, obviously, it's going to be a very interesting time for both President and the Prime Minister Han to see each other in the court. Now, the issue really is that Prime Minister Han has been saying all along that he did not know that there was a cabinet meeting, which was a requirement for the declaration of martial law to be legal. And he has said that in his view, the cabinet meeting, which was not there in the first place, if there were, to quote, it was loaded with defects, both procedural and substantive. So that has been his position. And I think President Yoon's lawyers would like to press him to get a kind of statement from him that in effect would say there was a legitimate, a valid cabinet meeting. And so the requirement was met. But I don't think, given the statement and the stand that Prime Minister Han has maintained, I don't think the legal team will be able to get the kind of statement from him that they want. But it's going to be a very interesting session this afternoon.
Indeed, that will be a key point that we should keep our eyes on throughout the day. Professor Pak, thank you so much for your time and your insight this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.